Well, guys, we need to actually talk about the Tyre Nichols video again. Me and Rhodes actually covered this, I believe it was last week, and we were actually on a live stream. It was disturbing. Those 5 police officers, they definitely look, based on that video, like they should be convicted when they actually go to trial. It was disturbing. Those cops, they were wrong. And it seems like this was bad policing. Definitely bad policing. Now, all the parties involved were black. Memphis is a very, very black city. Roughly like 62 to 65% of the population is actually black. All of the cops that were actually going to be on trial whenever that happens are black. Tyre Nichols, black. Police chief, black. No white people are actually involved in this. But some kind of way, man, Democrats and leftists, they're trying to make this about race. I don't know why, but when it comes to the left, they need racism in everything. There's no proof whatsoever that Tyre Nichols was actually beat because of racism. None whatsoever. These people want black people to think that we're dumb. But guess what? I'm not a dummy. All parties are involved are black. Now, if this was actually 5 white police officers and Tyre Nichols was actually white, there would probably not be much of a story because the mainstream media does not want to run with that. And even if they actually did run with it, you would have not heard racism anywhere. Anywhere. But since Tyre Nichols is black, and he was actually beat by police, regardless of color, there's a racism angle here. That brings us to one Al Sharpton. Now, I don't know why, man, but Al Sharpton shows up at these funerals for black people that are, quote unquote, killed by the police, and he race grifts. He does that. Al Sharpton is a con man. And I don't know why the families actually let this guy just come around there and preach at funerals. He's not there because he actually cares about Tyre Nichols. He is there for a political agenda. You notice that guys like Al Sharpton don't show up to the funeral when little Pookie is actually killed by another black man in the street. They never show up. There's no riots when a black man is killed by another criminal in the street. They don't care. But in this case, it was actually the police, and we definitely know that the left, they hate police. They despise them. And it doesn't matter your color. Now, even though that these cops are actually black, they're still trying to blame racism. Well, Al Sharpton took the opportunity at this funeral to actually promote his book. Yeah, he did that. And also to race griff. Let's get into it, man. Look at this clip right here. This is the first one we're actually going to look at because we got another one here also from Al Sharpton, basically saying that if Tyre Nichols was actually white, the police wouldn't have beat him. See what I'm getting at, folks? The race griff. Let's play this first clip right here.
That's why I'm still marching. Yeah. Yes, I got books out. Yes, I got a TV show, but I'm a mountain climber.
Yeah, taking the opportunity to promote his book and his TV show.
I'm not going to stop till I get to the top of the mountain. You can call me names on right-wing television. I'm a mountain climber.
And then he has to bring in politics to this man's funeral. Why make this political?
I expect stumbles to come my way. I'm a mountain climber. You can disgrace me, you can discredit me, but I'm going to keep on climbing. I'm going to climb until Tyre Nichols gets justice. I'm going to climb until Eric Gardner gets justice. I'm going to climb until we change the laws. We're mountain climbers. We're not day traders. We're mountain climbers. And if God be for us, it's more than the whole world against us. He walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me that I'm his own. He's been food when I was hungry, water when I was thirsty. He's my rock. He's my rock. He's my rock, my sword and shield.
So glad that's over. So glad that's over, right? I really cannot stand Al Sharpton. He is the biggest race hustler out there. I mean, he's an old school race hustler. I mean, this is just ridiculous. He's out there for the money and the pub. I challenge Al Sharpton to actually show up to a funeral in Chicago where a little child was actually killed in a drive-by shooting. Because we know what happens. We actually do weekly videos on Chicago. Al Sharpton, nowhere to be found, nowhere to be heard. Let's watch this next clip here. Al Sharpton at Tyre Nichols' funeral. Quote, if Tyre Nichols had been white, you wouldn't have beaten him like that on that night. How does he actually know that? He doesn't know it. He wants to make this a racial thing. Let's play it.
Well, Reverend Al, you don't understand. How are they going to keep crime down in the black community and at the same time not be tough and rough? Well, they do it the same way they do it on the white side of Memphis, and they keep the crime down without being rough and tough. How do you have the same department that can keep crime down on one side of town without beating folk to death, but you can't do it on the other side of town unless you feel that you can get away with it there? I can't speak for everybody in Memphis. I can't speak for everybody gathering. But for me, I believe that that man had been white, you wouldn't have beat him like that night. Well, Reverend Al, you don't understand.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You see, guys like Al Sharpton really do not want crime to actually decrease in the black community. Now, when it comes to crime stats, I'm not proud to say this, but you guys probably actually know this. Over 50% of the crimes, the violent crimes, are actually committed by black people, namely black men. Al Sharpton offers no solutions to that whatsoever. And black men only make up like 6% of the population. 6%, but are committing over half of the crimes. Al Sharpton offers no solutions. I believe he truly does love stuff like this to happen. He truly, truly does love stuff like this to happen because guess what? It fattens his pockets. He's not actually trying to go out there and promote fathers in the home. He's not doing that. He doesn't show up to your everyday black person getting killed by another black criminal. He doesn't care about that. If there's a political angle to it, then he shows up. You know, it's just like what's the lawyer? I'm pretty sure he's involved in this now. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. You guys know who he is. He shows up at every black man that was a criminal, engaging in criminal activity, and they died. Al Sharpton, no man, pathetic. Really, really pathetic. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you next time.